Hello and welcome back to our wonderful exploration of the War Sales beta patch. This is the 1.3.1 version. It has been updated. I was actually playing on the update a couple of episodes ago, but I didn't realize it, so that's great. didn't even see the update because it was a very small hotfix. They've basically just improved a couple of things, as I mentioned in the previous episode. Anyway, here we go. We are going to have a nice little random event here. Business is good at your brewery in Hussenfulk, but in the rush to keep up with demand, the normal precautions are not being taken. One man burned his hand in the oven. He will live, but it is unlikely to be able to do any unskilled work? Any skilled work. And the rest of the workers are worried about future accidents. Okay, so pay him a pension. And order your supervisors to take more care, even if it slows down production. Workshop loses 10% of its revenue. How much am I actually gaining from it anyway? I'm only gaining 200, so 10% is literally nothing. Increase reputation for being close-fisted. Decrease the security of the town by 10. No, that's absolutely terrible. And as on the battlefield, so on the workshop floor. Let each team work at its own pace, receiving bonuses for output, but also taking responsibility for injuries. Responsibility. That's not responsibility right there. Anyway, we are going to probably do this one. 10% of its revenue, I don't really care about that. Losing 100 gold, I don't really care about that. The only thing I really care about is just seeing what these traits are going to do. I'm actually kind of interested about that. So let's try it out, shall we? Let's try it out. So yeah, this is where we currently are right here. We do have a bit of a problem with security, so we're going to be doing this task in the town. And I think maybe it will actually let us get to the next clan tier, and then we can actually start our faction. Alright, so before we go into the battle, we obviously have a little bit of a perk thing to spend. So what we're going to do is we're going to be going for Tough Steed here, plus 20% armor to your mount, and plus 10 armor to mounts of troops in your formation. That's obviously really, really nice. You could also go for Dauntless Steed here as well, which does provide you with plus 5 armor to all equipped armor pieces of mounted troops in your formation, which is maybe better? Is it better, actually? Yeah, you know what? We're going to go for Dauntless Steed instead. Tough Steed is really, really good if you want your horse to live and you have huge amounts of, well, cavalry, but I'd like my actual people to have, you know, better armor and stuff like that, so Dauntless Steed is definitely the way to go here. Otherwise, we will probably go for Well Prepared. I'm much more of a fan of having additional ammunition rather than Mounted Skirmisher, which does reduce the accuracy penalty, which would make things a little bit easier to hit. But I don't know. I'm not sure if it's really necessary. I mean, most of the time, okay, look, yeah, most of the time when we miss, it's my fault, yeah? It's completely my fault. It's not really my character's fault. It's just me not having, you know, having it down on lock when it comes to actually, you know, being accurate, getting these guys in good positions, or should we say, getting myself in a good position for the opponent, and then obviously trying to, you know, trying to shoot at them. Now, as you can see, this is obviously pretty terrible. I'm in the water right now. This is going to be... Oh, okay, well, actually, it did actually hit something. Well, that's kind of... okay, that's kind of weird. All right, well... We don't really need to worry about that. What we do need to worry about is actually getting some skill points with this thing. Yes, let's get some skill points with this blasted thing if we can. Yes, I'm hitting more things, but I'm not hitting what I actually want to hit, which are actual enemies. Okay, yes. Oh, I actually leveled. That's hilarious. Okay. Okay, well, let's see here. Nice. Oh, I knew that was a hit. Oh, that was great. Yeah, that was fantastic. Love that. Any single time I can get a hit like that, it's always extremely satisfying because you just see the guy crumple, you know? So fantastic. Really, really love that. Really wish we could get more of those. Yeah, unfortunately my hits are very, very weird right now because I'm mostly hitting the horses. I don't really want to do that. That's absolutely wasted damage. Nice. That's a nice hit, though. We got some pretty decent hits, surprisingly enough, gotta say. And, yeah, obviously this is gonna be pretty much a done deal. We don't really need to worry about this at all, as you can see. Super, super simple. And indeed, we're done. And what did we get? Did we get it? Yes, I think we got enough. I think we got enough renown. Yes, there it is. Bertold tier has increased. There we go. All right, so we can finally create our own faction. Hilariously enough that I went ahead and did the whole thing of capturing something and then not creating a faction. You know, funnily enough, I actually feel like the reason why the Aserai haven't come over to us is because we're not actually technically a faction. So they couldn't actually declare war formally, if you know what I mean. So it could very well be that would be a strategy. I'm not sure if that's a workaround or an exploit or anything like that, but it feels to me like maybe it is. Because if you think about it this way. What are you going to do if, you know, the faction isn't actually a faction? You know what I mean? Like, for example, it's kind of like the clans in, if you've seen the Realm of Thrones series that we had on the channel not too long ago, then it's kind of like the clans that you eliminate the factions of. So, for example, let's say that I eliminated the Aserai, right? If they don't join any other faction, their clans are just going to be running around and they're going to have no central base or whatever that they are dedicated to. And the funny thing is, if they are at, shall we say, independence stage, and they have a fief. Let's just say that they have a fief. Let's say they capture something, right? I think they do actually create another faction. I think they do. It's very sort of like up in the air for me right there, because I actually don't know what happens when they do that, because it's been a long time since I've actually seen any of these guys do anything like that. I'd say that it's very rare and or maybe even impossible. Not sure, but yeah, whatever the case, formally, you're not going to have access to this menu down here, the kingdom management menu, the diplomacy menu. You're not going to have access to that if you are an independent clan, like we are right here. I don't have the ability to do that. But this means that enemies, I think, cannot declare war on us. If we actually decide to do this, which I am going to do, I am going to speak to this guy right now. I am going to create a kingdom, because I want to, you know, I want to be able to earn influence. I want to be able to, you know, enact policies and stuff like that. And we don't currently have that ability. The language and laws of the Vlandians. There we go. Yes, very well. I'll name it REFORMIA. Yes, the kingdom of REFORMIA, of course. That is what we will do here this time around. There we go. Fantastic. Yes, there we are. That is wonderful. Okay, so the 9th day of summer. There it is. Okay, so that is fantastic. So now what we can do, technically, is we can actually get like, well, we can get a bunch of policies, right? So now, here's the thing. I'm going to get a war declaration. I'm pretty sure I'm either going to get a war declaration, or maybe they're just going to come over here now. I'm not entirely sure. All I know is that I think that was the reason. Yeah, there we go. Look, we've already got a peace offering from these guys. We already have a peace offering, so this is going to be interesting. Let's actually take a look. What? Okay, wait. This doesn't... Ah, they offer you a white peace. Ah, okay, so we are... Wait. Does that mean that I'm going to be getting... I don't think so, right? You know what? Because this is a new, this is kind of like a new thing. This is kind of like a new feature that they have, you know, sort of like added in this patch. I'm kind of intrigued. I'm kind of intrigued. You know what? Let's do it. All right. So my criminal rating is decreased. Let's have a look and see how much I'm actually going to be paying. I'm not going to be paying them anything by the looks of things. No, I'm not paying them anything. They offered me a white piece, so I got away with their town scot-free, basically. So we really have no worries whatsoever. The Crusade are absolutely destroying everyone. I guess that kind of makes sense, considering the fact that they will just dominate every single field battle. But very, very surprising to see that again, considering. Yeah, so there you go. We are no longer being forced to pay peace, even though, funnily enough, I feel like we probably should have been the one to pay some tribute. Because we kind of were the aggressor there, and we are not stronger than they are, so it's kind of a little bit weird. I feel like we probably should have been you know, forced to pay something. But, well, I'm not going to complain. Let's just say that. I'm not going to complain. So we are actually going to be taking Pelisor away from the governor duty now because he basically does nothing, pretty much. Funnily enough, I just wanted to show you this, actually. You see this loyalty? We now have +1 loyalty, but before, when we had Pelisor in here, we had, well, basically a neutral gain, or a very, very small gain. And the reason for that is because the governor's culture also reduces the loyalty stage, because you're getting another -1, which is hilarious in my opinion. I feel like there should be no detriment to the governor's relation right there, or the governor's loyalty. I think personally, I think it's a good idea that a governor that is the same culture has a benefit, but I feel like, I don't know, I'm not sure if you should really do it on the flip side, because it makes it so extremely annoying to have a governor, or to not have a governor in this case, because you can see here, I obviously have, well, no one. I have no one that can really do anything. Obviously, Brynja is the best, because she has really good engineering skill, apparently. But everyone else is absolutely terrible. And the thing is, if I had a, you know, if I had an Azurai culture person, then it would be extremely nice, because then I'd have +1 to loyalty. But I don't know. I found the loyalty system to be a little bit annoying because of the fact that the owner's culture, my owner's culture, literally lowers it by -3 every single time. It's absolutely crazy. So yeah, not a terribly big fan of that. Anyway, I think I'm actually not entirely sure what we're going to do now, to be honest, because we are now in a situation where we're not at war against anyone. And I guess the best thing for me to do... Wait a minute. Are these nobles? I hope these are nobles. Yeah, these are nobles. Okay, yeah. That is actually working. Okay. Yeah, so what I actually want to do now is I want to try to earn as much influence as possible, right? And we are getting influence, as you can see right here. We are getting influence because we are obviously in... you know, in possession of a town, and we do have the king bonus. As you can see, we are getting the king bonus, and we're also having feudal inheritance, which is one of the policies that we brought over from the Vlandian culture, and obviously Castle Charters is absolutely fantastic. Probably one of the only policies in the entire game that has pretty much no downside. It has literally no downside. It's just one big bonus. And, oh yeah, wait a minute, there is actually a task to do here for some reason. I'm not entirely sure what's going on with that. But yeah, there are actually quite a few noble villages around here, so I'm basically just going to recruit from them a little bit here. And, we do have this guy. Purchase stolen goods from him. Do I really want to do that? No, not particularly. We're just going to recruit a handful of troops just to kind of fill out our army a little bit. And the question is, who do we actually want to attack? Because I'm thinking right now... Do you know what I'm thinking? I think you probably do, don't you? Yes. I actually would like to attack the Southern Empire. I know. It's probably not the best idea, is it? Is it? Probably not the best idea. I mean, you can see here, we have this guy right here. I'm not entirely sure why he's gathering near this castle. Are they going to declare war on us and then attack our town? I mean, it would make sense if they did that. But no, they seem to be walking the other way. Alright, so that doesn't seem to worry us too much. Now, here's the thing, yeah? We're not going to be able to make any vassals yet, because it's obviously going to cost us a great deal of cash. Let me actually just show you this, just so you get the idea. Because, let's say that I want to give him this. You can see that I need 500 influence to be able to do that. I barely have enough influence to actually, well... institute any policies, as you can see right there. So I won't be able to do anything like that. I will be able to create some parties. I could potentially create some parties. What do you say? Shall we create a party out of Mr. Nevig? He's absolutely terrible at this. Pelisor would probably be a better choice, but let's make Nevig creating a party will cost this. Yeah, okay, sure, why not? Let's give him a couple of troops. I'm not really going to be giving him anything too extravagant. I'll just give him the noble troops that I recruited. And there we have it. Okay, that's going to have to be good enough for him. And yeah, he's obviously going to go in there, get 12 recruits from the actual from the actual garrison. And let's, yeah, I guess we'll just see what happens. I'm gonna wait until we have, how much? We need 75, really? Oh dear. We have the Apples from Heaven random event once again. It seems like we might have gone through all the random events for villages for some reason. I don't know why that is, but yes, anyway, let's just get some morale. We basically have no downside here, no real downside at the very least. And I think I've kind of made the decision, to be honest. I think I've kind of made the decision we're actually going to be attacking the Southern Empire here. I feel like that probably makes the most sense, because I took a look at the diplomacy screen once again, and as you can see, they are at war against the Crusade, which I think makes a pretty good argument for it. I mean, all intents and purposes, they're probably going to be doing massive damage to us if we decide to declare here, but I'm thinking, you know, maybe that's the way to go. Alright, so we're gonna say I want everything you've got to the caravan guy here, and we're basically just gonna go in for an auto-resolve immediately, just get him out of the way, and I'm not gonna take any prisoners here at all. We are just gonna move on straight away. Oh, very nice, actually. Super nice. Mail shirt right here. I will be using that, thank you. And yeah, let's just take all the loot there as well. Okay, so we have the castle right here. We have Danustica. I'm not going to be taking Danustica. I'm going to be focusing on castles here, just purely because I want to try to solidify our claim on this area. And whoa, 24 days. Oh, that's painful. That is very painful. I actually don't know. Should I actually stay here now? I don't. You know what? I'm gonna stick with my plan. All right, we're gonna stick with my plan. Gonna see what we can do. We've got a vassal here, Bannerlord. Hello, Bannerlord. Well, what are you doing here? Yeah, well, yeah, he's got Viviana as well, and Xena is also coming along. Okay, you know what? Let's see if we can actually. Oh, are you? He is so funny. He is so funny. Did you see that? He literally baited me into attacking him right there. That was great. That was actually very well done. Okay, so he's basically just going to immediately go in there. That's absolutely fine. Let's take a look at what we've got going on here. I seem to have a herding problem. Do I? No, my prisoners are the thing that are causing me the most problem, I think. So the question is, he's just going to stay in there now, isn't he? Okay, so we're moving at 3.5 outside of forests, which is actually okay, I think. And if we go over here, how much do they have? Food stock, 550. That's insane. That's really actually insane. Okay, you know what? I'm just going to try to have... I'm going to have faith that my forces will be out... It will be able to handle pretty much anything that comes their way. Ah, and this is exactly what is coming our way. Look at this. Okay, so we have the garrison and indeed 2 minor faction vassals as well as a fully fledged vassal from the Southern Empire. She does not have anything amazing though. So this shouldn't actually be super dangerous, especially considering the garrison itself also doesn't have anything amazingly good, so we should actually be okay. Now, if we just play this right, we should be fine. Cross fingers. As you can tell, I'm a little bit worried about this, but let's give it a go, shall we? Okay, so, this is a decent-ish battlefield. I'm kind of hoping, yes, we might be able to use this little area here. They will be offensive, right? They will literally try to attack us very hard here, because there is no reason for them not to. So this is going to be the best possible situation for us, especially considering we're standing here in amongst the rocks. This is going to be great. Extremely advantageous. Hopefully this is going to work out for us. And the enemy is coming towards us, as you can see. So we do have to be a little bit careful. Make sure we don't get shot ourselves. We need to make sure that we personally live. We need to live. If we do not live, this is a game over situation. So, yeah, or should we say a defeat. So we really do need to make sure that this works for us. And I'm trying to make sure that we have decent chances here. I mean, the enemy's forces have basically nothing at all. They have a lot of recruits, a lot of low-tier people. Should be relatively easy for us to deal damage here. And the enemy is obviously... Oh, wait, they do have quite a few cavalry. Nice headshot. Very good. Thank you. And the enemy is coming through us right now. That's actually okay. I don't think we need to worry about it too much. Well, that seems to be it, actually. The first initial wave usually dictates the flow of the battle, and you can see here that they're actually running away. We're going to be holding fire right now. We want to save as many of our arrows as we can, if we're actually even having arrows remaining. I think we do, yeah. Quite a few of our people still have ammunition in reserve, so that is going to be extremely nice for us. Now, let's actually just speed things up a little bit. They're going to be... Oh, they're apparently coming back. Very interesting. Okay, so let's fire at will once again. We're going to start killing enemies from range. See if we can do something about that. Let's get our cavalry back here, because they seem to have overextended quite dramatically. I don't know how they're even over there. I felt like they should probably just go and attack the enemy archers that were the closest to us, but no, you know, they decided to do something weird. But yeah, as you can see, massive amounts of damage being done, and we should be absolutely fine. Oh, nice. That's a good hit. Yeah, we like those kinds of things. Thanks very much. Can we get some more of that? Yeah, you know, it's funny. Even though I really, really like the Bardiche, I feel like we should probably switch it out at some point. It is becoming a little bit, for some reason, I don't know why, but it is way slow. Like really, really slow. I thought it would maybe get a bit of an increase in its speed as we progressed, but it feels just as slow as when we first got it. So I'm a little bit worried about that, because that means that, you know, if we're consistently having an extremely slow weapon, it's going to be extremely difficult to use in, you know, like a siege or anything like that. It's going to be very, very difficult. And yes, I love bumping into trees. That is probably the most fun and not frustrating thing at all to do. Okay, so yeah, just gonna have Tavra on a charge. We have the advantage here. I might as well. Yeah, I mean, literally, we have a massive advantage in actual fact. Look at the amount of damage we've done to them so far. 344 kills, craziness, and I think we should be good. I probably should have told my forces to charge in much earlier. And there you go. There's the retreat from the opponent, and that means that we have, oh yeah, we have all the control in the world right now. 66 renown, 85 influence. The influence is the main deal here. Absolutely, extremely important. Let's let both of these go. I'm actually now wondering whether we should allow her to leave, or whether we should take her prisoner. For me personally, I actually want to let every single person go, because I want to see exactly what happens if we decide to do that. Maybe there's going to be some benefit in the future for that. So let's try it. I mean, eventually we will have massive amounts of relation with a lot of these people, and maybe that's actually going to help us. Maybe they're going to be like, oh yes, please let us join your faction. And that would be very nice, wouldn't it? You know, that would be extremely cool, because then we would have an exceptional amount of people. Gonna get rid of these mounted ransackers, even though I probably should have sold them a long time ago, but, you know, I'm not actually anywhere where I can sell them right now, and I forgot to do it beforehand, so that's great. But, you know, it's only going to be a small amount of experience and or, you know, money anyway, so shouldn't really make too much difference. Okay, so Pelosaur is going to get some nice upgrades here. Let's get him something here. Yep, there we go. Lordly Splint Boots. Hooked Javelin. Does he? He does have throwing skills, so I don't know how many kills he actually got with any of this stuff, but we're just going to give him some hooked javelins. I should probably get him some harpoons. Yeah, there we go. Let's get him some harpoons. He can finally get some kills, potentially. Let's take all of this stuff. Take all of this stuff. Take all of that. I think I've got way too much hurting anyway, as it is. I think I do. Let me actually just have a quick look here. Yeah, I do have way too much hurting, so we should probably get rid of that. Let's get rid of some of these. The hurting is still a problem. Are you serious? Okay, yeah, we're going to have to get rid of some of these instead then. Yeah, that's completely fine now. All right, that's good. Okay, so oh yeah. So yeah, if you do that, by the way, we've now taken the castle, which is actually hilarious. So wait a second, why am I not allowed? Why am I not allowed to show mercy here? Why am I not allowed to show mercy here or devastate? I can only pick pillage. Why can I only pick one option? That doesn't really make any sense. Alright, we're going to take the good-natured perk as well. Let's pillage this for some reason. I don't know why we are... I don't know why we're being forced into doing that. Is it because we are not a merciful? Is it because we're not a merciful... we don't have a merciful trait or something like that? Is that the reason? Do we need merciful trait to be able to make that work? If that's the case, that is hilarious, because I think that's absolutely... I think that's extremely weird. Yeah, so we can actually do a bunch of extra stuff here in the castles. These are different options here. So we no longer have the loyalty increasing thing. So that's probably going to be quite interesting to see what happens with that. Because what we're going to do, obviously, is we're going to try to raise some troops as much as possible. And, well, this is going to be a bit of an issue, obviously, in itself. Because we're probably going to be attacked relatively soon. Ah, the militia just gave up, basically. That's hilarious. Okay, Nevig is being attacked by a Danustica patrol. Okay, bets on if you think the Danustica patrol will win against Nevig. Because if he is literally defeated by a patrol, then I have no idea what... Okay, so he was defeated. Uh-huh. Right. Well, that's rather interesting, isn't it? Not a terribly big fan. Ooh, a courier bearing an alliance offer from the Crusade has arrived at the court of your realm. Yes, there we go. The Crusade has formed an alliance with the Kingdom of Reformia. That sounds pretty fun. Alright, yes. Alright, I like that. Considering I cannot do any kind of alliance. This is also... Okay, look. There needs to be some kind of marker here that allows me to see that I am actually in alliance with these guys. Because it still does not show that I am in an alliance with them. It should just have a small little icon here, or a small little icon here, next to the war icon that basically says, this is, you know, an alliance, or something like that. And then just have the icon of the kingdom that they're in an alliance with. Otherwise, it makes no sense, because I am not going to know. You know, just imagine I don't play the game for a few days, and I come back and I'm like, oh, okay, who are we in an alliance with? And then I look at the diplomacy screen and it gives me no information whatsoever. You know, that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. Anyway, let's just get these guys leveled up. Let's do this. There we are. Okay, so we took that castle, which is actually kind of hilarious. And now let's try and take this one, shall we? Let's try and take this one. That was a pretty nice victory, if I do say so myself. And I wouldn't mind getting another one. Ah, what do we have here? You've been studying the walls of Shibalzumra Castle for days, and you see what appears to be a crack in one place, possibly the result of an old earthquake or just negligence. It's hard to hit with your catapults, and the ground is too rocky to mine, but you reckon troops with pickaxes by themselves could bring it down, assuming they were willing to brave the storm of arrows and rocks that would no doubt come pouring from the battlements above. Alright, so a purse of silver for every stone brought to me from that wall. 80% chance of increasing siege progress by 20%. Lose 10 of your troops, though. Don't think that's particularly worth it. Order your recruits to swarm the base of the wall and bring it down. They can be replaced, or a breach is not worth the losses. So you can breach one wall if you want to do that, and you can lose 10 troops. This is actually kind of funny. I feel like... Okay, look. I'm going to say something right now. This could be a strategy. So what I've just thought of right here is, what about if you just go, you go like, you initiate the siege, right? You initiate the siege. You see if you get a random event. If you don't get a random event, then you leave the siege. Then you go back into the siege, and then you just continue to rinse and repeat this until you get a random event that you like, right? Or that is good for you. And you could do this with random recruits. You don't have to do this with exceptionally high tier troops, right? So basically you're only using them as a way to pay for the random event result. So in this case, for example, the second option here where we lose 10 of our troops and we breach one siege wall, that would be an exceptional price to pay because we'd only be paying 10 recruits instead of paying 10 Battanian Fian champions. You see what I mean? So that's kind of what we could do if we wanted to be extremely rat-like, as it were. We could be very, very, very stingy about it. But no, I'm going to say a breach is not worth the losses. It is 80%. I mean, come on, an 80% chance. I think an 80% chance is extremely good. And 20% of our siege camp progress, yeah, I think that's pretty nice. Unfortunately, it's not really going to be... that's not really worth it for me. Bannerlord. Okay, Bannerlord's coming. Okay, yeah, you can see there. He's actually coming with his army. Yeah, if these guys had actually gone in and attempted to attack us, we would have been in a really bad situation. Thankfully, they didn't. And it's their loss, you know? It's absolutely 100% their loss here. So, let's just sell a couple of things. Yep, basically not really able to sell much more. And we do have another companion here. Now, the question is... are we actually going to be able to use companions ever and have them be somewhat useful? Because, as you saw just there, Mr. Nevig got himself taken prisoner. He is a prisoner of Oberon's party. And, I was kind of hoping that party AI had been increased, or shall we say, had been slightly improved, but so far, I mean, obviously I don't know the situation of what actually happened. Maybe, I don't know, maybe he attacked a patrol or a party or something like that, and he was like, oh yes, we must attack these fellows, and then the vassal came along and basically just crushed him. It could have been that. That could have been the way to go. That could have been what happened. Anyway, Bannerlord is attempting to take Tamna Castle. I really don't care about that. That is absolutely fine if he wants to do that, because he's just going to be throwing himself against the militia. And we have 222 militia in the garrison there. Actually, 226 now. So that's obviously going to make things extremely simple for us, or should do, at least. And the only thing I need to do is finish the building of this thing. Okay, wait, what's going on here? At first, this siege gave your men a welcome respite from the hardships of the march, but now inactivity and boredom has started to take a toll. Even dice and gossip have lost their charms, and you're starting to see quarrels and lapses in discipline. Drill your men for the upcoming assault, even though the ever-present risk of injury might put several out of commission when they're needed most. March about the camps, be searching for specks of rust on swords or sentries who aren't fully attentive. Ah, okay, so we've seen this. Alright, so... let the men enjoy their rest. Decrease morale by 20. I mean, even decreasing morale by 20, I mean, yeah, that's a pretty hefty amount of morale. I wouldn't really like to do that. So I think what we'll do is we'll take we'll take this. Increase siege progress by 19% just to get that done. And then we'll... should I actually even bother starting to build siege? Oh, you know what? There's only 2 catapults up and running. Okay. This is a bad idea. For me to go in here right now is a bad idea, but I'm gonna do it nevertheless. Just purely because I want to see if we can... Okay, there's the ladders over there. There's the catapult. Okay, so if we can get really... Can we get close? Can't place my forces any closer than this. We could place them here. That would be slightly better. Maybe here is better. I'm just trying to think of the best possible location so we don't get killed by the catapults. There are 2 catapults right here. I'm hoping that what we'll be able to do is literally just go up here, immediately get on the ladders, go up onto the walls, destroy this catapult, or at the very least, you know, kill the people that are manning it, and then do the same thing for the other catapult over there. We could also, if we wanted to go over in this direction, we could start here. Yeah, not a big fan of starting there, because we're going to have to walk all the way around here. We're going to be bombarded by the catapults as we do this, and then we're going to be going up the ladders over there. That's probably not going to work out too well. So I think this is probably the best course of action. Unfortunately for me, we are going to get murdered. I'm going to tell them to immediately go to the positions over here, because we do not want these guys getting free hits on us with the catapults. That would be exceptionally bad. So if we can tell our forces to go over here, there we go. This is perfect, because as long as they do not get any value out of the catapults, we are getting a good deal. So let's see if we can actually do something here. This is going to be a bit problematic with my two-handed, because as I said, it is a little bit too slow for my liking. Yes, they're actually starting to push the ladders back as well. Okay, so these guys, we can now tell them to go into an auto-delegate, and we can try to do something here. Oh dear. Oh dear. What? I'm stuck? Did you see that? I literally got overwhelmingly stuck. Wow. Yeah, it's because the ladder is like this weird... I don't know. It has like a weird height to it. Oh well, never mind. Okay, so let's see what is actually going to happen here, because unfortunately I am dead, which means that my forces are probably going to suffer insane casualties. Maybe? Oh. Are we actually winning? Are we actually winning this? Oh yeah, I think we are. I think we are actually... Whoa, that is actually crazy. If we actually win this, this is going to be insane. Yeah, yep, we've won. That is amazing. Very, very well done. Okay, yeah, that was completely thanks to my forces. I would not have done this if I didn't really want to capture it. But yeah, 125 influence, 117 renown. This is exceptionally good. Okay, so we are now going to need to recuperate ourselves. So this is going to be a bit of a problem because, well... The enemy is probably going to be extremely annoyed at us right now. Okay, let's see. What else do we have here? Anything good? No, not particularly. All right, let's just take everything we can here. Okay, so we actually took someone prisoner. Oh, look, now we can show mercy. Okay, so why can we show mercy to this castle but not to the other one? Okay, I don't know why. That's interesting. Okay, so let's raise some troops. Let's get this out of the way. I don't want to do any of that just yet. And we now have 79. Oh, yes. Very good. 79 influence. So what we're going to do is we're immediately going to go to forgiveness of debts. And I am going to enact that instantly. That is probably my favorite policy in the entire game. And the AI values it way too little. In my opinion, the AI is extremely stupid when it comes to the forgiveness of debts policy. They always try to vote it away because they are concerned with their money or the production of their fiefs or something like that, and it's just absolutely terrible. It's very, very painful to see them literally do that over and over again. I don't know why they do, but yes. Anyway, let's have a look. Is there anything here that I can actually take? No, most of this stuff is absolutely terrible. So I could get a better bardiche, as in swing speed. What do you think? What do you think? A short-handled bardiche? That might be kind of fun. Or we could go for a two-handed axe, which has much more swing speed. I'm thinking right now we're going to go for the short-handled bardiche. Let's try the short-handled bardiche out, shall we? That sounds pretty fun. Why not? Yeah, I think that sounds pretty cool. And we're going to get another 194,000 or something like that. Let's sell some prisoners while we have the ability to do so. Just going to sell a couple of these. There we go. Not too much, just a few. And then we're just going to have to wait here for some time. I'm going to recruit a couple of people, put them in the garrison here as well. Yeah, that's pretty much all I can do here. Actually, considering we do have some people in the garrison here, I could potentially take some out. We have... Whoa, okay, who put these in here? What? Okay. Well, okay, fine. I'll take some of them. I'm not going to take all of them, but I'm going to take some of them. Just some of the higher tier ones. Caravan Master? These guys have pretty, okay, decent, somewhat decent skills. Let's take a couple of them. Why not? I guess it was Nevig or something that put them in there. I don't know how that really works, the parties. Well, maybe they've gotten a bit of a boost, as it were. Okay, so we've taken this. This is going to take a while for anything to really happen from that. They have taken Tamna Castle, as you can see right there. There's nothing really I can do about that. But we're just going to have to roll with it. If they want to take it, then that's absolutely fine. We're just going to have to take it back, and it's going to be easy enough to take it back anyway, as it is. So it's not really that big of a problem. The main thing that we are actually considering here is the fact that every single time we do a siege or a battle surrounding these fiefs, we're actually gaining a significant amount of permanent progress for our faction. Because we're obviously gaining things like, you guessed it, we're gaining things like renown, influence. We're being able to institute policies. We're being able to move on with, you know, our forces, you know, gaining experience and everything. It's really making a huge difference. It really will make a huge difference as time goes on. Ah, here we go, yes. So now this is obviously the biggest problem with fighting against a faction that is significantly more powerful than you are, and that's the fact that they are going to just completely destroy you in regards to numbers. There really is very little I can do about this, unfortunately. It would be wonderful if we had some way of fighting back. But you can see here, the garrison only has 109. I would have to go in there with how many people? I have 111 currently active. And we would then basically only have, what, 220? That is really not very much in comparison to the enemy's 858. And they have very, very good troops. They have very, very good troops. They will have very good troops in this party here. They're going to have a lot of the elite cavalry and stuff like that. And it's probably going to be extremely difficult for us to defend. So we're just going to do the honorable thing, or shall we say the somewhat not so honorable thing, and we're just going to stay away from it at the moment. And what we're going to do instead is we're just going to wait. We're going to wait until our loyalty gets really, really high here, and then we're going to be starting to institute some of our buildings. Obviously, they're probably not going to want to besiege this target if I continue doing what I'm doing right now, which is literally just recruiting people, slapping them in the garrison, and then making everything work for us that way. Because you see, the AI is a little bit more concerned with numbers than they are with troop quality, usually. Obviously, it very much depends. Sometimes they're going to be... well, sometimes they're just going to throw caution to the wind because they don't really care. But many times they might think to themselves, you know what, let's not do this. And in that case, that's obviously fantastic. Okay, so as you can see, Nevig was released from captivity for some reason. I don't know why he was. I was actually wanting to attack the guy that had him prisoner, but unfortunately I wasn't able to find him in time. But yes. Oh, what do we have here? One of your Imperial cataphracts asks you for a favor. His daughter plans to marry a man from the back alleys of this town with a reputation as a no-good layabout. He has refused permission, but asks you to do what you can to ensure the two do not elope. Okay, let them marry. 50% chance of losing one of your troop. Do your best to explain to the girl that marriages are affairs of the head, not of the heart, and she had better think of her future and that of her children and not elope. 50% chance of increasing reputation for being calculating. Okay, so the question still remains. What does being calculating mean? What does this do? What do I care about it increasing my reputation for being calculating? Does this matter to me? That's the question. Does it? I don't know. And then order your troops to give the upstart a sound beating. Who does he think he is? The hero of some foolish some foolish romantic poem? I was going to say love poem. Anyway, yeah, increase reputation for being cruel and increase reputation for being calculating, increase morale by 5. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to let them marry, of course. There we go. Did I lose someone? I don't think so. It was a 50% chance. But yes, there you go. Okay. So we are currently at war against the Southern Empire. Let's see what they decide to do now, because I'm pretty sure they're not going to come over here. And as you can see, they are not. You can see here that they've also left an extremely small garrison in the castle there. So technically, what I could do is we could go straight back on in there, go into the siege once more, and just completely and utterly dominate the garrison, because they're going to have a much weaker garrison this time around, and the enemy's armies are also weakened. So just think about that. The enemy's armies are also weakened. So even if they do come back, and you know they come back with the maybe 200 strong army or something, we will then have the advantage. Oh yes. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.